Hi guys, I'm so sorry. Let me look on my computer. It's been 8 months, 8 months since we talked. And I have so much has happened. You guys aren't gonna believe this. So I have lived in Mexico. I have lived in Spain. I am planning to continue to travel. And the biggest thing that's happened to me is that I can now roll my R's. Not for every word. It happened by accident. Well, it was, sorry, I'm getting so excited and I can't talk. So what happened is I realized it's been a year on Preply. And I do have plans to go to Brazil, so I started learning Brazilian Portuguese. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am so close to being B1 that I can't just drop this and do Portuguese. I thought I could. I was like, oh, I'll lower my Preply lessons to 1 month or once a week. Sorry, I'm like all over the place because I'm so excited. Okay, first, sorry. Let me tell you about the R thing. So I got a new Preply teacher and I had 3 lessons with her. She's incredible. I will admit I'm paying more for her than my other teacher. My first teacher on Preply was $10. She eventually has gone up to I think $15 because I caught her when she was new. Love her, we're friends. Like I actually hung out with one of her best friends when I was in Spain. It was incredible. But after a year, I was like, I feel like I'm plateauing. I know a part of it is because you guys saw, like, I hit my breaking point with Spanish. I got burnt out. So I was just like passively learning, which honestly has been fine because now my motivation is back. So I got this new teacher. She's $38 an hour. Totally worth it. Totally worth it because after 3 lessons, I was able to say Monterrey, Pedro. Like, I'm sure my rolling my R's isn't perfect, but I used to never be able to do it. I used to have to say, gosh, can I even not roll my R's anymore? Pedro was what I was saying. Pedro, Monterrey. But yeah, I was just talking to my other teacher because I still see my other teacher to just do conversation practice. And we were talking about like, oh yeah, I have this friend who's from Monterrey and da da da. And I was like, oh, did you see that? Did you hear that? And she was like, what? And I said, I rolled my R. And she said, wait, say it again. And I said, Monterrey. And she was like, oh my gosh, congratulations. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then I went and messaged my other teacher. I said, oh, I can roll my R's. It's crazy. I used to never be able to roll my R's. Oh my gosh. So I came back here to tell you guys where are my R's. I do need to talk to you guys about how I lived in Mexico, about how I was in España, and my experience. But I will say, I'll leave you with this because I want this to be a quick video update because otherwise I'm not going to post this. But I want to let you guys know that it is true if you go to a Spanish-speaking country, yes, it is possible that it may not help your Spanish. I will say when I lived in Mexico, it was the most helpful because there were a lot of places, especially when I say places, I'm thinking of restaurants and tienda de ropas that did not have Spanish speakers. But the beautiful thing is that people would still speak to me in Spanish. And I love that. I'm never gonna forget, I had this, so I was in Mexico, I was in a Playa del Carmen for dance training. And I went to this boutique, locally owned store for women, the cutest clothes. And the employee at the store was so sweet. She kept bringing out these clothes. She was talking to me in Spanish about what I should wear it with, da 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 da. And I'm like struggling because at this point I am barely A2 Spanish. And so she like would understand, do her best to understand, and she'd bring out other things and she would just keep talking to me and I just say like, puedes repetirlo, porfa, da 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 da. And then she like keep going. That was great because for one, I learned how to speak to people in tiendas y restaurantes, and I was also able I was able to like do it so often. It's a muscle memory now. Like when I want to order something, me gustaría, da 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 da. So before I had to like think a lot. Like I used to say quiero, da 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 da. It's just like no 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 no. And I found out that I like to say I would like. So me gustaría, da da da. And then I know what kind of questions to ask. I am vegan, so I would say sin leche, da da da. Like those things, I did it so many times. It's habit, okay? And then stores, I do want to shop a bit more, but yeah, I started to learn how to say like, where is this, da 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 da. And I'm bringing all this up because it was just fantastic. However, when I went to Spain, like Barcelona, Madrid, a lot of people knew English. And if they didn't know English, well, not everywhere, but I found at the bigger cities, a lot of people knew English and they would automatically switch to English, which was, I did not like at all. I honestly did not improve my Spanish at all when in Barcelona and Madrid. Same with Tarragona. I went to Tarragona, which is, I mean, honestly, is a Catalan town, but it was a smaller town, and that was my goal. I was like, let me find a town that's safe, affordable, and where I could practice my Spanish more. No, I honestly didn't know it was a Catalan town, so that may have been on me. Maybe if I wanted to speak Catalan, that would have been perfect, but no. But there were times like in the train station, surprisingly, a lot of people, like employees there, didn't really speak English. And you know, the Spanish in España is different with the gracias, like that list, gracias instead of gracias. So my brain was having trouble and they weren't very patient. I feel like in Mexico, and granted, I was in a smaller town, right? But from my past experience, like I'm used to Spanish speakers in Mexico being more patient and helpful, but where I was in Barcelona train station, they were not at all. Madrid train station, there were more employees who spoke English. That was helpful, but not helpful for language learning. Anyways, that's just a little bit about my experience. Happy to share more if you want to know more, but I just wanted to talk about how I can roll my R's now. Pedro, Monterrey. There are some other words I'm still struggling with, like when you're saying to run in Spanish. Yeah, see, I'm struggling on that one, but it's coming along. I'm excited. My excitement is back. I think I did the right thing of, yes, I was frustrated. Yes, I was burnt out. I didn't push myself. I said I was gonna do this whole challenge and I said like, girl, why are you pushing yourself? So I just put it on the back burner. I didn't stop learning. I just kept maintaining what I knew. And eventually I was excited again, and just now I'm pushing hard. And that's honestly how I am with learning, or I guess with doing anything. And I think when I respect how I feel, I accomplish more. I don't know, maybe you're different, that's okay too, but that's my update. Monterrey, Pedro, adios, ciao, ciao.